Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DLC. I am your host today, Joey Fitz, and today we are talking about a game that has no right being as good as it is, a game that I never thought I would see, a game that blends a genre and a movie in a way that you'd never ever expect. Before we get into the episode, I would like to offer huge thanks to our friends over at Game.Press and our friends over at Outlier, the developer of this game. Today, we are going to talk about Mars Attacks. It's just landed on Steam Early Access, and if you think roller coaster tycoons, but instead of donut stands and Ferris wheels, you're abducting humans and putting them on display for visiting Martians, yeah, buckle up. So here's the premise. You're basically a Martian overlord running an intergalactic theme park. Your guests are the fellow aliens from the film Mars Attacks, and they want to be entertained. And your main attractions are, well, humans. You build enclosures, grab people from different eras of Earth like Romans, cowboys, random modern folks, and you design habitats, amenities, and different experiments that you can keep your visiting Martians happy. It's equal parts management sim and dark comedy, wrapped in the bright, cartoony package that you would come to expect from a Mars Attacks adaptation. When I first booted up the game, it hit me with how funny it feels. The menus, the animations, even the little voice lines, that all leans into that classic 50s sci-fi vibes, and it's got Mars Attacks campiness where the aliens are exceptionally menacing, but at the same time really goofy. Mechanically, there's a lot more depth than I'd expect to a game like this. You're not just plopping down cages, you're balancing part profits, keeping your humans fed and not miserable, hiring staff and making sure your Martian guests don't get bored. It scratches the same itch as games like Planet Coaster or Jurassic World Evolution, but with a lot more ridiculous humour. Let's start with what Mars Attacks absolutely nails. First of all, the theme. I love when a management sim embraces a really weird idea and just runs with it. I can imagine the pitch for this game, and I can imagine how unhinged that must have felt when they first suggested it, but I am glad that they did. Abducting humans as zoo exhibits is pretty dark, but the game is so tongue-in-cheek that it's more funny than disturbing. Secondly, the systems are surprisingly fleshed out for the early access of game. You can customize enclosures, tweak amenities, experiment with different human types, each with their own little quirk, and there's loads here to keep you tinkering with your park for hours. And visually, the art style is perfect. It's bright, pulpy colours, over the top, goofy animations. It's the kind of game that makes you grin, even when you're doing spreadsheets behind the scenes. Now, of course, the game's early access, so it's going to have a couple of rough edges. Content wise, you can tell there's some features still to come to the surface. The devs have said that more maps, more human types, and more experiments are on the way, but right now you might start seeing a couple of repeat areas in a few play sessions. Balance is another thing. Sometimes you feel like you're micromanaging the really tiny details without clear feedback. And a couple of UI elements could do a bit more polish. Yeah, it's early access, and you can expect a couple of things to not go 100% smoothly. I had a couple of performance dips, but nothing game breaking at all. But it is worth noting for the game at this current stage. My favourite part so far was my first enclosure escape. I had a group of Wild West humans who just decided they'd had enough of being part of Martian captivity, and they started causing chaos. My Martian visitors panicked, and suddenly my carefully balanced finances were straight out of the airlock and into outer space. It's where the ridiculous situation where you have a management sim and Mars Attacks combining and colliding that you see the really hilarious things happen. That kept me coming back to this game time and time again. Now, if you're into management games, you will feel right at home here. It's got a little bit of shades of Jurassic World Evolution, Parkitect, Planet Zoo, but with the Mars Attacks satirical twist that'll make it stand out. If you need to play a more polished experience, like I said, this game is early access, but if you're okay with just a couple of bumps in exchange for a fresh, genuinely funny premise, this game is already worth checking out. So here's my take. Mars Attacks is clever. It's a weird little gem with loads of potential. Right now, I'd call it a solid grab this game if you like management sims. I think in its current state, there's plenty of room for it to grow as the updates roll out, and I'd be really excited to see where the devs take it. If they keep adding different content, refining the systems, this could end up being one of the standout sims of 2025. So once again, thank you to Outlier for a copy of this excellent game. Also thanks to our friends over at Game.Press. Make sure you check out Game Club Pod on all of the socials, just at Game Club Pod, and check us out on Twitch. And if you're not a part already, join our Discord, where we've got a lovely community that love to talk about the episodes and just different games and animes and things that come out throughout the month. So that's it for today's episode. If you have played Mars Attacks, hit me up in the Discord and let me know your best human escape story. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on DLC. Until then, make sure you keep your humans happy, or at least properly contained. Have a great day.